Welcome to the channel. Today's video, my brother is going to install a set of Horizon SST Helibar handlebars for Honda Goldwings 2018 and up. He had Helibar risers on his bike, but he was still having some shoulder pain. They kicked the handlebars in a little bit more, I think. So he decided to buy these. They're a little expensive, but I think they'll be a good investment. They actually bring up the handlebars higher and bring them back a little bit. This is going to be a longer video because it's an install video. And if these handlebars are something that you're interested in, stay tuned and watch the whole video. The link will be in the description below if you're interested. And you know what to do. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, hit the bell so you're notified of when new videos come out. So let's get right to my brother's video of his Horizon SST Helibar handlebar installation on his Goldwing. And we'll see you back afterwards to see how he did.
Well guys, let's see here. I'm back over in my garage. I'm gonna do one last mod to my 22 Goldwing here. I currently have the Helibar risers on my motorcycle. They did a considerable amount of good with my reach to the handlebar, to the grips. However, I'm not overly happy with how they angled in more instead of being more outright, as well as it didn't really do much for the height of the bars. So the bars are a little bit low for my liking. I still get a little bit of shoulder pain. It's like right in the joint, right here, because my arm is too low. So I went ahead and I bought the fully adjustable Heli bars. I'm gonna give them a whirl. They are expensive, but everyone says they're fantastic. So this is going to be an install video, and then I'll probably do another video after I ride on them and give you my personal reviews after I've done some trips on them. But let me go ahead and show you how it comes in a box and whatnot. All right, so this is how they come. Come pretty well packed. I've already taken out some of the packing. So they come with two different instructions. One's just the instructions alone, how-tos. And then one is just all the pictures. The great thing is they do come, the pictures are actually color. So it is very easy to see. There's also there's already multiple install videos. I'm going to go ahead and do another one. Probably won't be as good as some of the other people's, but hey, always watch other people's install videos first. It'll help you through the stuff. But anyways, so here's where they come. And, they do come with the heated grip removal tool. I hear that's going to be the funnest part. But, alright, let me go ahead and show you how I already have the Helibar risers installed, as you can see. Okay. You can see them right there. I will obviously remove those and put them back into storage. If I look really, I might end up giving them to someone. We'll see. But if you already have the Helibar risers, they give you new bolts when you do that. So in order to put the bars on, you need the original bolts, right? So make sure you have them, and the washer. Okay. Luckily, I take everything off. I save everything in its own little container. So that'll help really a lot. The instructions are pretty straightforward, but I will do it step by step as I do it, and I'll put it in the stand here and show you. So let me get everything together, and then I'll show you how things are done. Okay, guys. First step is to remove your center console. There's plenty of videos out there that show you how to do this the cheating way, but the easiest way to do it is there's a push pin here and here. You remove the push pin, and then you're able to pull up on the corner of these. There'll be a 5mm underneath here and another push pin. You remove them, and then you're able to slide the thing forward and pop it up. And that'll allow you to get underneath here. Just make sure you use something to, when you pop it up, you can put it underneath it so you're not scratching up all your front here. So let me go ahead and remove the push pins. Be careful not to drop them into the ground. That would be, or drop them down inside. That would be a terrible day trying to find them. I find these little tools from Harbor Freight are great for working on your push pins. You just punch out the little center, use the edge of it to pull it out, and that way you're not wasting your time. Okay. Always keep a container so you can put all your parts in. Okay, so the next step is to pull up on these. All right. If you have a ton of stuff on your handlebars, and I recommend removing them first. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this and my cup holder. That'll give me more room to work. Okay, so I removed those. Now what I'm going to do is lift up on these. It is going to make a little pop, so don't be too scared. Just don't pull up too far. You don't want to crease any. When you pull it up, you don't want to pull too far. You don't want to crease any, crease it. Just like that. There's one. Come on. There's two. Okay. So what's going to happen now is underneath here, there's a push pin right here and a 5mm bolt. Okay. So the push pin is a slightly different one. You just kind of slide it out, and then once you slide it out, you should be able to grab the bottom part of it and pull the whole thing. Same with this side. And just be careful, you don't want to drop anything. And then get in there with your 5mm. Okay. Same on this side. Okay. And then what you do is kind of wiggle it forward a little bit, just like that, and then pop up. Okay. Just like that. And then what I recommend is definitely having something underneath this. Just like this. Okay. Be careful with the wires, and then you should be able to lay the thing all the way down, just like this. All right, and that gives you access to your original setup. So the next step, if you had the originals, would be to remove the bar end weights. I do not have the originals. I have Gold Strike grips on. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those next, including I also have the wings. So I'm gonna remove the wing and then the grips, and then put them off to the side. And then after that, we'll move on to the next step and I'll show you what to do. All right, so I have my grips removed, as you can see. Then the next order really is up to you. I'm going to take, because I have the risers, the Heli risers, I'm going to take off the cover plate here that I have all cut up perfectly for this, for the Heli risers. But I'm going to remove those with just a couple screws, Phillips heads in there. I'm going to just pop these free, the 4 bolts for the Heli risers. They're black ones. If you have the originals were silver, which I showed you earlier. You're going to need the originals. So I would just keep these bolts and these caps with the Heli risers if you decide you're going to give them to someone or whatever. That's pretty much all you need for it. And then obviously I'm going to put the cover with it too, pre-cut. So, but you need to take that off, and then you also want to take off the cover plate for the handlebars here. There's 2 3mm bolts to take out. And let me go ahead and get those removed, and I'll show you what I'm up to after that. Okay, so I removed the 2 bolts that covers the handlebar riser. Okay. The next thing you want to do is on the back of the back side of the left bar are 3 screws. Smaller one for this cover here, okay, and then 2, one here and one down here for this cover, okay. So all I did was loosen these up, so I made sure that I can get into them. I'm going to take these 3 bolts off. I mark everything when I take them off. I just use a little bit of painter's tape and stick the bolts to them. I'll go ahead and remove these, and then I'll show you what we get. Alright, so once you remove the bolts, the 3 bolts, or the 3 screws, you simply just pry this off, and you just take the top off and put it off to the side. And then you ever so easily pry this apart, okay? Be careful because your wires are all in there. You want to be very careful. But what you're going to see is right here, there's a zip tie to cut and another one right there. And then that green bolt, right, the bigger one, right there. Take that green bolt off, and the whole thing will be able to just come apart. So let me go ahead and show you when I get it done. Alright, so this is what it looks like once you get that off. Okay. The next step is I went ahead and measured just to make sure what I had in here for distance, where my grip is originally. Okay. So you measure from there to right there, and as you can see, it's 4 1/8 inches to the end of the bar. Okay. Now there's also a hole on the bar right there, and if you actually measure there too, just to be on the safe side, it comes to be just the beginning of the hole is 2 3/8. Okay. Next thing you do is use the left heated grip remover. Okay, and I'll go get those pieces and I'll show you what it looks like to help remove that. Okay, so what you want now is to use the the left heated grip removal tool that they supply to you. It's basically a big brick here with just 2 screws in it, or 2 bolts in it. These are 13 millimeter. You want an open face wrench for that. And then this is just a stopper they give you. All right. Funny enough, I thought they said everything was metric, but these are actually 3/16 hex. So basically, you don't want to pinch your wire, but right now you kind of want to just know where you are. Some people use like a rubber band. If you use the rubber band, you can keep it there. But for now, I'm just going to set it up here so I know roughly where I want to tighten this down. Basically, right there. So tighten this down and then slowly move back and forth to slowly push the grip off. Okay? I will show you as I get going. And then basically, you're just going to keep turning these until you slowly push out. You may have to let go, or push it out so far and let go, and then reposition this down. I will show you as I get them farther out. Okay, so this part might be mind-numbing because you have to move it a couple times, but if you can see, I am moving it. I started up here, I'm all the way down here. It takes time, just a couple turns on each side, and then do the other side. And then eventually the grip will come off, so I'll show you when the grip comes off. Alright, so this is what it looks like when you get the grip off, okay? Just to let you know, make sure that you have the wire on this side because you need the distance on it because it gets kind of tight. Well, not tight, but if you had it the other way around, you would not be able to get this off. So make sure you have the wire on this side when you start. If you need to, remove this and get the wire out from underneath because originally it'll be on this side and underneath. Right, and you can see it's pretty tight. When you get to the last little bit, you can just pull it off. But so that's that, and then I will show you what the next step is. All right, so once you have this your grip removed, the best thing to do is if you still have your original bar and weights, is to secure that back on. It will help you pull out the inner plug there that you need to put into the Helibars. So I'm going to put the cap back, the grip weight back on. Once you have the plug back in, basically there will be these 2 holes here. If you just push on them a little bit, you should be able to pull this right out. And because you're going to need that for the next one. Once that's out, you can remove. You can go ahead and remove these 2 bolts, and then you can remove the heli riser as well. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the left handlebar from the Helibars, and we're going to put the left grip adapter back in, making sure that the little tabs right there line up with the holes. If you wanted to, you could use some rubbing alcohol or just about anything that will dissipate to help slide you back in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll tell you what's the next step. Okay, so removing the right side is a lot easier. What we're going to do is we're going to remove these 2 bolts right here, which will help with remove the brake and the brake caliper, and then I'll show you what's after that. All right, once you have the brake caliper off, be careful because there's a line here. But there's 2 bolts or 2 screws, Phillips heads, in here, I believe. Right there. And once again, you just gotta get those out. There's two, one on the top, one on the bottom. Try to keep everything together. Also wise not to have your, keys around when you're doing this, because last thing you want is the, well, first of all, you don't want to accidentally hit anything and turn the bike on or try to start it. But just keep screwing until you get the screws out, press it away. These are long thread screws, so it takes a bit to get them out. And once again, be careful not to drop anything. There are little washers on them. Okay. Once you have those out, you can separate it a little bit, and there'll be once again, there'll be a green screw on the inside that'll separate, that you need to just be careful. And then there'll be a green screw right there to take out. And then you should be able to take this whole thing off, and then I'll show you what's after that. So once you have the green one out, the whole thing will slide, you see? Okay? What you need to do now though is remove these two bolts so you can actually slide the grip right off. Okay? Once you take the bar off, you're able to just slide everything right off. I put the weighted grip back on, and then the weighted end. Then I'll just hit these the two little pegs and pull this out. Okay, out of the right side. Next, pretty much the same thing you did on the other side. Install that into the right side. Make sure the clips clip in. Okay, so next we're going to install the Helibar, basically the adapter that holds onto the bar. Okay, you're going to install, make sure the little grooves are actually up, and the hole, the long bar is on the top, the one with the holes in the bottom down there. It will only fit one direction, but if you keep the grooves up, you'll see. Okay, you're going to use the original Honda bolts, the silver ones, and you're going to put them in now and torque them down to 22 foot-pounds. Okay, so I will show you once I got them installed. So now that I have these torqued down to 22 foot-pounds, okay, the next thing to do is to get the actual bar in here. Okay. Now what you want to do is well, I'm going to try to put some room around here. Maybe like that. All right, there we go. Is you want these in here, like this. You want the grips right under, right to the edge. So you want the bar pretty even on both sides. Just like that. And then this is going to go right over top, just like that. And then go ahead and put these in. But you don't want to tighten them down right yet. Just put them in. You do not want to torque these down yet, because you're still going to have to move the bars to whatever you want. Okay? Alright, so now what you want to do is when you go to tighten these down, I do need a little bit of torque. That's a little bit better. You want to measure 6 inches. To the center of the cap. That's pretty good right there. That's pretty good. So now you're going to want to tighten these down. Once you get this to 16 or 6 inches, you want to torque these down to 16 foot-pounds, starting with the top ones. Yep. And I just go back and always double check. Yep. Okay. Okay, so what I did was I tightened this down. I put the gray one in, or the green one in to hold this here. And then I just got done putting the grip back on. I think I got it to about where I need it. And then I'm just rerunning the wire back inside here the way it originally was. And going to basically re-zip tie the way, the way they had it originally. Back in here. And then snip off the extra. Be very, very careful. And snip off the extra. And then I got to decide real quick on how I want this. If I want the wires under or over. Crap, I think I want it over. Once you have the wires back in, you put the 2 bolts back in to put everything back together. Yep. And then you can put this piece back on. Okay, so actually you do want the wires on the back side, because then you could help feed the wires like this through your little your back piece, and then try not to pinch too much, but you can get your last bolt in there, or your last screw in there. And then just double check and make sure. There you go. Okay, I did not tighten up the other side yet. But so I got everything there. I can just spin it a little bit. So I didn't tighten it down quite yet. Okay? The right side here, I'm going to try to put everything back together here. I'm going to remove this one for now. Or not remove it, but I'm just gonna loosen it all the way. Okay? So I can, actually, yeah, and I gotta loosen the other one just a little bit because they have it a little too tight. All right, so I can, basically it just goes in here like this. Okay? But I want to move all this stuff over. I'm not going to put that in yet then. Because first I want to slide this in until you get to the pin. So you get to the hole in there that locks it in. And then of course put the green one back in, which locks this all into place. That's an important one. If you wanted to, you can go ahead and put the other two bolts in now too. Or the other two Phillips in the back here. Okay. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. Okay. And then, oops, try not to lose your towel because you're probably going to need that. All right. And there you go. Get that roughly where you want it. You don't need to tighten it if you don't want to right now. I do put it down a little ways. Just tightening it down, not really tightening it though. All right, so then your next thing, this one. Okay. And then, of course, you got to decide what you're doing with all these cords afterwards, but and then make sure nothing is pinched down here. Okay. All right, so the next step is to find out roughly where you want these you know, and then tighten them down. And you want to do 12 foot-pounds. Okay? All right. That's 12 foot-pounds. And then do the other side as well. It's personal preference if you want to put the black cover back up, but I do like it. I already had it pretty edited for the heli riser, so that's why you're going to see some of this still. But all you have to do is cut out this part here for it to fit. Hopefully everything should be good with this being here. If not, I might have to try to reroute it, but we're going to see. The next part is basically just put the console back and then put everything else back on. And then that'll be it. There's little caps you can put on here, and I'm not going to do that yet. As in, because I don't, and then there'll be a cap right here in the end. I will use black silicone to put those in so they'll stay. But I'm not going to put these in yet because I want to leave them out for the adjustments. I will put the caps in though. So I'll show you when I get everything back together. Alright, so this is what it looks like when it's all back together. I do need to make some adjustments as I sit on it and whatnot, but it looks pretty good.
Well, that was a little bit of a long video for today. I think he did a good job. They look great. There's a lot of adjustability to these bars. You can move them up and down. You can move them forward and back, forward and backwards, and you can twist them in and whatever. And then you can have rotate your switch housings and stuff. A lot of adjustability with these. These are going to be great. Like he said at the end of this video, he still needs to ride and see how he likes them and then do some minor tweaks and adjustments for it. But you ain't going to know until you get on and ride and see how it is, especially on the long rides. So maybe down the line he'll do another update video on them to see how he did, how they are, and how he adjusted them. But like I said at the beginning, link will be in the description below if you're interested in these bars. They're a little expensive, but well worth the money, I think. If you're going to decide on keeping this Goldwing for a long time. If I ever decide to go to Goldwing, I think that would be the first thing that I would do, would put these bars on, because I don't like how low the stock handlebars are on the Goldwing. You know me. Of course, I've been riding Harley, so my handlebars are up here a little bit. But anyway, that's the end of today's video. You know what to do. Hit all those buttons. Leave a comment. What do you think? Did he do a good job? What do you think about him? Also, check out some of the other links in my descriptions below with some of the other affiliates that I have. It'd greatly help out the channel if you decide to purchase something from one of my affiliate links. And we'll see you in the next upcoming videos. Stay safe out there and enjoy the ride. Bye.